Hey, everyone out there. Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. I'm Jessica Van Antwerp. I'm your host. I'm the owner and a trip leader for Integral Travel. And I'm excited to continue our series talking about the 8 tenets of wellness that we like to incorporate in all of our wellness retreats. This week, we're going to be talking about relaxation. And I have a really special guest to me personally here with me today to talk about relaxation, Dr. Miles Nichols. Welcome.
Thanks.
So let me just, give you a little background about Dr. Miles. He's a functional medicine doctor specializing in Lyme, mold illness, gut, thyroid, and autoimmunity. He personally struggled with chronic fatigue in his early 20s. And after that, he dedicated himself to figuring out the root causes. He suffered with and recovered from thyroid dysfunction, autoimmunity, a gut infection, Lyme co-infections, and mold illness. So he knows a lot about health. Dr. Miles and his wife, Dr. Diane Mueller, co-authored How to Use Your Mind to Heal Your Mold and Lyme and Stress Resilience, 2 different books. They founded the Medicine with Heart Functional Medicine Clinic here in Colorado and also the Medicine with Heart Institute that trains other doctors in functional medicine. Dr. Miles has been a featured speaker at national conferences and professional associations. With a doctorate in Oriental medicine, he has extensive training and expertise around herbal medicines and has developed formulations used by functional medicine doctors across the country. So in addition to all of this, I have a personal relationship with Dr. Miles. He has changed my life. He came into my life the day that I had a nervous breakdown in 2012 with an incredible gift, the practice of Shengjian Gong, which I've talked a lot about on podcasts that I've been on and other episodes. And anyone who knows me, it doesn't go very long before I start talking about Shengjian and the importance and the important role that it's played in my life. So thanks for taking some time to be with me here today, Dr. Miles.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So let's dive in to our topic of the week, relaxation and the importance of relaxation for your health. Everybody knows that it's important to relax, right? We're all so busy. We just live in this modern culture where we're overscheduled, we're overworked, we're moving at a pace that is unsustainable, and even, I would argue, unnatural to like other living beings, particularly in the wintertime. And so, we sometimes take the time for relaxation, but what I'm talking about here is not laying on the couch watching a movie. That's not the same thing as relaxation. We unconsciously hold tension in our bodies. I happen to be particularly body aware. So sometimes when I'm watching TV, if it's like a stressful, movie or a suspenseful movie, I notice that I'm like gripping my muscles. I'm like tightening my fists, it's like a, white knuckle film or something. And that's counterproductive to relaxation. So Miles, can you tell us a little bit about the importance of relaxation and how it can affect our health, how it can improve our health, learning how to relax our bodies?
Yeah, and I thought I knew what relaxation was many years ago. And then through my experience with Shengjian and with other practices, I realized that what relaxation is so much deeper than I thought. There's a lot of people who they think, oh, I'm relaxing. They're laying down, they're sitting, watching TV, like you mentioned. But really the nervous system is still active. It's like this. And it's like closing your eyes and laying down, but like buzzing inside. There's a little bit of a sense of vibration in the nervous system that just won't settle for some reason. And it's not conscious. People think, oh, well, I can relax. I know how to relax. I'm just chilling, hanging out. But inside, the feeling is still buzzing a little bit. Right. And it's really hard to settle. And even some people just feel, sometimes it's outward trembling, but sometimes there's no outward trembling, but inside there's this sense of activation, this nervous system activation. And one thing I've learned through working with Lyme disease, working with mold illness and toxic burden, working with gut dysfunction, is that the nervous system becomes inflamed from things that aren't, again, it's not conscious. People aren't thinking that I'm not relaxed, thinking that I'm tense. It's just physiologically the body, the nervous system is in this zone of just not quite able to fully settle. And this goes back to cultural conditioning all the way back. As a child, Children are told, if you're sitting and doing nothing, you're lazy, it's a waste of time. You need to get out there, you need to do things all the time, be doing, going. And people prize being busy in our culture. They prize, like, I'm so busy, I have all this stuff going on. Like, that's actually, social status is built largely on being busy, being active out in the world. No one's advertising the fact that they're doing nothing, right? That's not,
Right.
it's not sexy. It's not something that people think in our culture. It's a valuable thing, like, oh, I'm busy tonight doing nothing.
Right.
The conversation that people are having. And to do nothing and to actually be in the nervous system and in a way that settles, like to actually be settled. A lot of people, I don't think they're even aware that they're not settled.
Oh, absolutely.
I wasn't. I can think back to my early 20s when I started doing Shengzhen, and I was doing some other meditation practices, and I can feel into, as I think back, how intense my nervous system was without even, I thought I was relaxed at the time. It's really interesting that I feel like the potential for relaxation is so much more immense than most people realize. And even myself, like, having worked as many years as I worked on doing limbic system brain retraining, doing vagus nerve work, doing Shengzhen meditation, movement practices, meditation practices, even going on a 36-day meditation retreat, many 2-week meditation retreats, I still feel at this point like I'm just scratching the surface of what's possible with the depth of relaxation. Like, that's how deep I think that is possible with relaxation, and the potential benefit is massive.
So tell us more about that potential benefit. And I mean, I could continue on many different veins and things that you mentioned, particularly, the lack of awareness I think most of us have in terms of that nervous system activation that we have. And I really identify with what you were saying about how I think I'm relaxed, and people tell me like, oh, you're so calm and collected. But on the inside, I'm like, I have that little buzz. I have that little vibration going on. And so I think not only is it a practice that you can learn, but it's a cumulative practice as well. So it builds on itself. And then you're in relaxation mode. You're learning how to relax and let go of tension in your body. And then you have to go out in the world and do things. And so you sort of like ramp back up. And so you have to, it's this like sort of interplay between the activation and the unwinding, and the activation and the unwinding. But again, the cumulative practice is, every time you come in, hopefully you relax more. And so as I was asking, tell us a little bit more about the health benefits of learning how to relax in a conscious way.
So there is relaxing the body, and that is tension in the body, and being able to learn to actually relax that tension, and that, especially shoulders, neck, places that people get a lot of chronic pain, low back, hips, often there's a lot of tension. That there's physical relaxation, and that's really important for the body, and training in body awareness practices, doing dance, yoga, tai chi, qigong, shengzhen, these kinds of practices can really help with physical relaxation. And I've been trying to, for example, relax my hips and sit in lotus position, and I've been trying to do it a little bit forcefully with yoga, doing pigeon pose and doing these hip opening things and pushing myself hard and very serious about it. And then I transitioned to doing Shengzhen, and I forgot about trying to sit in lotus. I forgot about trying to open the hips. I was just really relaxing deeply into the practice. And very quickly, within a few months, I could sit in full lotus and my flexibility increased. But relaxation of the body isn't even just about flexibility. And relaxation isn't just about the body. Relaxation is also about the mind and the emotions. It's also about the heart. It's also about the nervous system and how to relax in a way that, to me, I believe actually that happiness has to, true happiness and joy, not like pleasure in the moment, but deeper level feeling actually whole, actually complete, actually a sense of deep contentment, has a lot to do with relaxation. And when there's this restlessness in the heart, when there's this sense that I can't actually fully rest into and relax into myself and life and circumstances as they are right now without them being any different, because so much of the thought processes, so much of the emotional space is preoccupied with what happened in the past and what's going to happen in the future. And I need things to be different than they are. And I can't deal with, and I see a lot of chronic illness in the clinic. So I see a lot of people who are struggling deeply physically and have chronic illness. And yet there's the potential with relaxation, the potential to connect with a part of yourself that is already completely at peace inside, already fully content, no matter what's happening on the external, no matter what's happening in life, no matter what's happening even in the body, even in the emotions. There can be intense emotional anxiety, and underneath there can be this sense, there's a capacity. I believe everyone has a capacity to access a part of yourself that is complete and content and whole, even in the midst of dealing with emotional intensity, even in the midst of dealing with physical pain, even in the midst of dealing with challenging situations in life. And that can be challenging. I mean, that's why relaxation, the potential is so great, because the potential has to do with you're dealing with the biggest struggle of your life.
Right.
And we know people like Franz Kafka and certain other historic figures, they're in intense situations, in concentration camps, in prisons, in other places where the circumstances are just almost unimaginable. Talking about finding inner peace, finding liberation inside, that's the potential for relaxation.
And I completely identify with that and have experienced that, such a level of relaxation that it allows me to experience the full breadth of emotion, like you're talking about, all at once, feeling that peace, but also feeling fear and sadness and letting it be okay. So if someone were listening to this chat today and wanted to learn how to access that place within themselves, what would you tell them?
First, it's important to understand that accepting and embracing what is not a passive resignation to it. You can be active, you can have a vision, you can want things to be better, and you can be completely accepting and embracing what is as it is and relax deeply. At the same time, these aren't contradictory. It seems like a paradox, but it's not. In fact, I believe that people actually do better at a trajectory towards their health goals when they're coming from a place of feeling complete inside. There's a different thing that's a passive resignation, and that's not what we're talking about here. So first is to understand that as you relax and go into this, because the one block is you think that it's going to lead you to passive resignation. And then find tools and practices in particular. Frameworks are helpful. Mental cognitive frameworks are helpful. Often they're not enough. Often you need practices. Yeah. Practices are actual activities that are focused that you're doing. They could be meditation practices. We've talked about Sheng here, and gratitude practices are great for this. So finding practices that you resonate with and can commit to doing on a regular basis. And if movement is something that you like, then Sheng can be a great fit for that. And if meditation is something that you like, there are Sheng meditation practices. And for some people, adding in functional medicine, doing some labs, some nutrition, some things like that can help too, to clear the noise of inflammation in your body that can help the inflamed nervous system to calm. So pursuing a strategy of functional medicine, or just doing practices, or a combination of the two, I think are a great pathway for people to begin to relax more.
Excellent. Thank you for that information. So if people want to get in touch with you to maybe work with you in any capacity, how can they do that? Where can they find you online?
So my clinic website is medicinewithheart.com. And that's our functional medicine clinic based in Colorado, but we actually do work with people nationwide. So wherever people are in the US, we can work with you. And so medicinewithheart.com also has free blogs and information. So if you just want blogs, information, go to the blog section of the website. If you'd like to find out more about the clinic and working through a functional medicine process in the clinic, then there's a free call with our staff that you can do to get a sense for whether we're a good fit or not to work together. And that website has some additional resources as well on it with information about different conditions. Then for people who want to find out more about Shengzhen in particular, that website is shengzhen.org, and that's a hard one to spell.
Yeah.
Shengzhen, shengzhen.org. So the easier way is you go heart-space, or there's shengzhen.org. Heart-space.org is another way to get there.
Yeah.
So then for practitioners, if there are any practitioners who want to learn more about functional medicine, mindfulness, mindbodyfunctionalmedicine.com is a website for practitioner training, because we do train practitioners, clinicians, doctors, coaches, people who want to learn more about how to work with clients using labs and supplementation and relaxation practices. So that would be a resource for practitioners. And if people would like to contact on social media, there's some social media links as well. Medicine with Heart, at Medicine with Heart is how to contact on Twitter. Facebook.com/Medicine with Heart is Facebook. So those are some ways to get in touch as well.
Great. Well, you certainly have a wealth of information, not only through all of your life experiences, but also in all of the formal training and education that you have. So thank you so much for taking the time to share with us some of that wisdom today. We could go on, but I know you have some patients to go help heal. So in closing, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you tune in next week. If you want to sign up for the Integral Travel newsletter and find out more about what we do, then check out our website, integraltravel.com. You can sign up for the newsletter there. You can also find the services and things that we offer in order to help unlock your body's natural capacity to heal itself. There's meditations and some online Shengzhen classes and cleanses, and let's see, we're adding stuff all the time. And I hope you join me next week, live Wednesday at 12. I'm going to be flying solo next week, but talking about the tenet of wellness of silence. And that is quieting the mind. It's a true inner quiet. And I'm going to be guiding you through an experiential meditation that will actually combine what we talked about here today, give you an experience of the relaxation of your body and nervous system, and that will ultimately help you reach a place of a quiet mind. So if you don't think it's possible, I invite you to tune in and see for yourself. Thanks, everyone. Have a beautiful Wednesday.